Hello class, this is Mr. Humphreys here, and we're now in section 1.5, using formulas in geometry. Before we do anything with this chapter, I've written down a bunch of vocab words. Here's the great news. I'm not going to have you define them. You don't need to write them down. This is all review from elementary school, probably from you guys. Most of you have probably done this back in 5th, 6th, 7th grade. So this is review. You don't have to look over it, but it has to deal with perimeter and area, base and height, the diameter, radius, circumference, and pi. So all of this stuff, finding the area of a circle, finding the area or perimeter of a rectangle, a square, a triangle. It's all stuff you've done. So what I'm going to do is just give you some examples that take everything you've done and actually use it in more complex ways. So we're just going to do a few examples. Find the perimeter and area of a rectangle whose length is 3x minus 2 and width is x plus 3. So if we're talking about perimeter first, the perimeter is obviously adding up all four sides. Well, since we have a length of 3x minus 2, we have two lengths, the top and the bottom, plus two widths, the left and the right. So we have 2 times the quantity 3x minus 2 plus 2 times the quantity x plus 3. So now we combine like terms and distribute. This would give us 6x minus 4 plus 2x plus 6. Our final answer would be 8x plus 2. Lastly, we have to find the area. Well, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So we have to plug in length, which is 3x minus 2, times the width, which is x plus 3. Now, using your skills and concepts you learned last year, we have to multiply two binomials together. So we take 3x times x and 3x times 3. That gives me 3x squared plus 9x. And then we distribute the negative 2. So that's going to give us negative 2x minus 6. We combine like terms, so my answer would be 3x squared plus 7x minus 6. And that would be the area and the perimeter of that rectangle. Example number 2. A rectangular counter 1 yard wide by 5 feet long has a circle cut out of it in order to have a sink installed. The circle has a diameter of 18 inches. What is the approximate area of the remaining countertop surface? So I've drawn a rough diagram of what it looks like. What's the first mistake you notice? Or not necessarily mistake, but the first issue before we can start solving this problem. Hopefully you realize that there are 3 different units of measurement. So we have to convert. Now we could change everything into inches, we could change everything to feet. It's completely up to you. I'm going to change everything into inches. I'm sorry, not inches, feet. So 5 feet we already have. Well, 1 yard, that's going to be 3 feet. Well, 18 inches is 1 foot 6 inches. So this would be 1.5 feet. So we have to take the area of the rectangle and subtract from it the area of a circle. So let's set this up. Area, length times width. Let me actually make that so you can see it. Area equals length times width. So that would be area equals 5 times 3, which you know is 15 feet squared. Subtract the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So we're going to subtract pi times the radius squared. And so if we take 3.14 times the radius is half of 1.5. So that would be 3/4 of a foot, or 0.75. So we take 0.75 squared times 3.14, and that gives me a area of the circle of 1.76625 feet squared. We subtract them, 15 minus that decimal, and we get approximately, if we wrote the whole thing down, it would be 13.23375, but we can say approximately 13 and 2/10 or 13.2 squared feet of counter space left.